In my last video, I showed you my entire Black Friday scaling strategy, and here's what happened. Our e-commerce brand pretty much crushed it on Black Friday, Cyber Monday without giving out any discounts on the store, with 90% new customers and with very good profitability despite the high CPMs and cost per clicks. So if you want to learn more how we scale to over 100K in revenue with around 20% net profit, make sure you watch until the end of this video. Okay, so we actually had our best Black Friday ever. We did over 100K in sales on very good profit margin. It was around 20%. So overall, it was the best Black Friday we've ever had, and big props to my team. Okay, like a lot of the times we as entrepreneurs tend to take all the credit for ourselves, but actually without all the team, without all the systems that we had in place, and without all the preparation that we spent in the past few weeks, we couldn't have achieved that. So to give you a deeper breakdown, on Black Friday we scaled to 37K. Actually, including Thanksgiving, we had even better results, around 124K. Profit margins were very healthy. If I go to the profit sharing, you can see, including Thanksgiving, we hit around 124K in sales, 25K in profit. Overall, very good performance, 2.8 ROAS, okay, and we did that with very expensive cost per click. The cost per click on the ad account was around 1.9, and even though the ads were crazy expensive, the ROAS was still very good, and that's because we had very well optimized offer that was high in average order value and very attractive for new customers. And pretty much with this offer, we could sustain a scale even when ad costs during Q4 get absurdly high. So now I'm gonna show you the gold mine of this e-commerce store, which is the ad account. I'm gonna show you the campaigns that we run, how we scaled, how we structured budgets, what ads work the best for us, and pretty much everything that we did in order to scale without losing profitability. So the first advice that I gave you guys on my last video about how to pretty much ruin your Black Friday is you shouldn't be afraid to scale, right? We spent around 4.8K before the Black Friday madness started. On Thanksgiving, I ramped up the budget slightly to around 6.1, and then I scaled from 6.1 to around 13K in just a single day on Black Friday, right? Which brought back around 38K in revenue. And for the weekend, I pretty much downscaled the budget to 8K, and then the next day was around 7K. So pretty much I kept a relatively high spend throughout the whole weekend so that I keep the momentum going. And on Monday, I scaled back up to 9.2K. And actually our most profitable day in terms of profit margin, not just absolute profit, was Cyber Monday, probably because it's an electrical product and stuff like that, but because we've kept all the momentum that when people are seeing that the campaign is going to end, they end up converting better. The conversion rate was slightly higher, like 2.2%, which is, I mean, compared to our usual numbers, is just insane. And we cranked up the retargeting, pretty much squeeze out everything that we have left as a potential for this specific campaign. And mind you, this is 90% new customers. I'm not targeting primarily existing customers. This is not a brand with very great retention. So all of the results that I'm showing you is primarily, as I said, 90% from new customers. And we managed to acquire over 500 new people in the span of 4 days that we can then keep as customers for a lifetime. So overall, for those 4 days, we had an ad account ROAS of 2.7. As you can see, I spent around 10K on Black Friday specific campaigns, and the remaining ad spend was actually going to evergreen campaigns. So that's one thing that I mentioned in the previous video that I launched. You shouldn't rely solely on Black Friday campaigns to carry all of your performance. In fact, my Advantage Plus scaling campaigns had a slightly higher cost per purchase compared to the rest, and I was actually not expecting this. However, I pretty much allocated most of my ad spend, like 75% of my ad spend, to my evergreen campaigns because they were already warmed up. They had a lot of social proof, they had a lot of engagement, they had a lot of momentum with Facebook's algorithm, so that it's much easier to scale those campaigns instead of launch a new campaign on, let's say, Thursday and expect for it to optimize overnight. Sure, you can put a high budget on it, it will optimize pretty quickly. However, you cannot put all of your eggs in one basket, and as you see in the ad account, the majority of the results just came from my evergreen campaigns. This is a campaign that I've been running since Halloween. It delivered pretty good results. The rest of the campaigns, I've been running them since October and September, and they were all converting at very good numbers. As you can see, 2.5, almost 3 ROAS at scale. And the best part of it is that I can run those campaigns for a very long time because they're not Black Friday specific. I don't expect their performance to go down, to be honest. And I can run them, just refresh the ads, refresh the creatives, the copies every now and then, and they can run for a very, very long time. And as you can see, whenever you have a special sale period such as Black Friday, they tend to do exceptionally well. And another thing that was very, very important in order for us to scale profitably was to crank up the budgets on all of the warm and hot campaigns, because throughout November we've been spending tens of thousands of dollars targeting new people so that they can get into the funnel, get to know our brand, see our ads, go to the web store, all that stuff. And now on the weekend, we pretty much cranked up the budget on all of them. And I actually used some audiences that I'm not typically targeting, such as Facebook and Instagram engagers that are usually not performing that great. But I upped the budgets to more than $200-300. I think I had some audiences that were running at $500 per day that were performing insane. As you can see, this particular audience, which is Facebook and Instagram engagers, got us over 6 ROAS. The add to cart initiate checkout, of course, that's the best performing one, but also the smallest one, got us around 8.5. And another very important aspect is running retargeting ads with broad targeting, especially because Facebook is very, very good at picking the right people to see your ads and then click. You don't need to have specific targeting with custom audiences for retargeting campaigns. The majority of my sales, as you can see, it's almost 60 sales, came from broad campaigns with retargeting creatives that had no targeting aside from excluding past customers. So pretty much in those campaigns I was going completely broad, nothing crazy, just excluding past customers with ads made for retargeting, and they did a pretty good job at picking the right people. Moving on with the next thing that I wanted to share with you guys are the creatives that we used to scale to very high numbers. If you've been following the channel, you know that I'm a fan of not just running the typical video ads as every basic dropshipper, but experimenting with different formats. And for that specific case, we did crazy numbers with just GIFs and images. Let me refresh that real quick. The ads that were giving us the best results were GIFs and images, specifically for the holiday season, as well as a few videos, but 9 out of 10 of our winners were actually image or GIF creatives. And mostly because they were giving us far, far lower CPMs and cost per clicks compared to videos. For some reason, Facebook is giving very high CPMs on the videos recently, and we have like absurd numbers like $30 CPM, which is something that we've never seen on that ad account because it's very optimized. It's had more than $2 million of spend. But every new video that we launch on the ad account, for some reason, gets very, very expensive impressions. So regarding the store stuff, I pretty much made almost no changes to the store itself. Mainly because I had a code-friendly offer that I've been running for a while. It's tested and proven to work, so I knew that I didn't have to pretty much cut my prices and lower my margins to make people convert on Black Friday. The common misconception is that you can only make people buy on Black Friday if you have like 20-30% off, which might be right if you're targeting primarily existing customers, but all of the results that we did on Black Friday, or at least 90% of the results, came from new customers that we acquired on those particular days. And the conversion rate was much higher than usual. So we are typically running at 1.2 to 1.5% conversion rate. For the weekend, our conversion rate was around 2%, which is something that we've honestly never had on the store. And there's pretty much 2 main reasons why that happened. First of all, Facebook is sending us very high quality visitors to the site, because they know that people were willing to buy on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So the conversion rates are typically higher on those days because the buying intake is just insane. And the second and more important reason is because my offer was optimized to acquire new customers. And if you watched my offer video, you might already know that the best performing offers are the ones that have very high perceived value and very good average order value. So for this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I had no discounts on the store. My average order value was over $200. I only gave a few discounts on SMS and email campaigns. However, we kept the AOV very, very high, and that allowed us to have over 20K net profit and have a very healthy profit margins. So in my last video, I shared with you guys that you can add up some scarcity in a store to make conversion rates even higher. But what most people do is they add those scammy timers that just say 10 minutes left until the end of the sale. And obviously people are not buying into that. Like, consumers are not stupid anymore. So those tricks might end up hurting your conversion rate. And it's not exactly what I did. What I did was I put a very sleek timer on the top of the store. And you're also risking Facebook to block you if you have it anywhere else on the store. I put a very sleek timer on top stating that the sale would end on Monday, and it pretty much blended in with the rest of the store really well. I also updated the main product image with Black Friday messaging, and that's everything that I did for the store. Nothing too crazy in terms of urgency and scarcity and all those things, just a very trustworthy timer on the top of the store, and that was it. And that's what brought us to over 2% conversion rate. I think on Cyber Monday, towards the end of the sale, it was around 2.4, yeah. And last but not least, I want to point out that these are results from a brand that we've been running for 3 years now. Our first ever Black Friday Cyber Monday did us over 120K in sales, but it was less profitable than this one in terms of actual money that we made, because we optimized the store much better. We had over 10% higher gross margins. Our customer support is on point. We had almost no refunds on the weekend. Everything was dialed in, and I had overall much less stress compared to our first year, because we know our customers, we know what ads we have to be running, we know how to scale, we pretty much knew what to expect, which is something that a lot of you guys that are hopping from product to product, always changing up stuff, changing niches, changing products, will never experience, and that's something that just compounds over time. If you're still in the product testing hamster wheel, I'll feel sorry for you if you didn't have the best Black Friday of your life, but make sure to subscribe to the channel, go through all of my content, learn how to actually scale to very good numbers without going crazy in testing new products and always hopping on from thing to thing without getting banned from all the different platforms. So that was my Black Friday story. What was your performance, guys? I'm curious to know, so let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and follow me on Instagram. So thank you again, and I'll see you on the next one.